go. And good morning, Liz. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Welcome to Careers and Coffee.
Well, it's Thursday. We just had a windstorm last night in Cedar Rapids, but we all made it through. I was having some PTSD of derecho. Glad it wasn't near as bad. No trees flying by the house or anything like that.
Yes, the hubris of my youth when we would not go in the basement is over. Like, we are basement dwellers anytime there is a storm now.
My dad texted me, evidently my mom made them put their bike helmets on, because I guess that's the thing now. Like, you should have your bike helmet on. If there's a storm coming, just in case, something falls on you.
Safety first.
Safety first. Yeah. And I don't mean to make fun of that, but I got a small laugh out of it.
Yeah, that's kind of cute, actually. Well, I'm glad we had no major issues, and I do think there was definitely some damage and some trucks that got blown over, and I hope that everybody is safe. But we just live in a different world now. Yeah,
crazy, huh? 72 degrees in December. Well, now that we've discussed the weather, let's talk a little bit about our topic for today. And that's money. So I think sometimes you get in situations where you need to make money fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether maybe you lose a job, or maybe you got some time between jobs or something like that, laid off, and you need to come up with some money fast. So our topic for today, and I want to ask you, is how to make $100 a day, kind of quick and dirty, fast. Like, how would you go about that if you woke up tomorrow and needed to make $100?
Gosh, Dan, this is tough, because it's like you're talking about cash flow, right? And like, businesses all the time deal with cash flow. And before I was a business manager, I'd never really thought much about cash flow and how important cash flow is. It's really just, not only having money, but having money at the right time. So maybe you had a car issue and it came up, or a medical bill, or something that's just like eating at you, that you gotta get paid off, or something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There are some ways now that were not possible before, that maybe you're not aware of, or you just hadn't thought about it. And so some of those ways are due to technology. So things like Uber or Lyft, just deciding to say, okay, well, I do have a working vehicle. It's in okay condition. I could do Lyft today. How do you do that, Dan? You just download the app?
Yeah, I've driven Uber in the past. There's like a Lyft Drive app, or Uber Drive app. So it's a separate app from the actual one that you would go to request a ride. It does take a few days. They do their background checks and everything, but usually within a few days, you get approved to drive. After you have to submit your driver's license, the car you're driving, and all that information. But after that, then you can just get in and just say, I'm ready to start picking people up, and they'll send you a notification when somebody's ready for a ride.
And you can kind of decide, okay, I'm free now, I can do it now. When I'm not free now, you can decide not to do it.
Yeah. So super simple. When I was doing it, so it takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to it. And so like Uber always gives you you can either deny the request or accept the next request. So you do want to kind of pay attention to maybe how far away that next request is. Because sometimes it doesn't always make sense to say drop somebody off, then drive 20 minutes to
town,
go pick somebody else up. So I think, after a while you kind of get used to, okay, it's a busy time of day. Somebody else within a couple minutes will be requesting a ride, but more often than not, you just want to accept everything that comes in.
Okay.
So there's an Uber lesson.
DoorDash or what's the Iowa City one? Chomp Delivery.
Chomp,
that's a local. Chomp Delivery is actually a local app that was developed by the restaurant owners in Iowa City. And I think it's expanded to Cedar Rapids now, and it gives the restaurants a little bit better results than Uber Eats or DoorDash, because they get better rates. on the food, and there's just better margins for them. So would love to support Chomp, especially because it's locally sourced and was built in ICR. So
Yeah.
that's an option as well.
And let me throw a couple more out at you. I bet if you went through your house, you could probably find a few pieces of furniture, whether they're nightstands, an old bookcase, something like that.
Mhm.
Take a couple photos of it, put it up on Facebook Marketplace, and get some money for that today.
There's definitely things in my house that I need to get let go of.
I just did this last weekend. I
Yeah.
had a couple bookshelves in my basement collecting dust. Took a couple photos, put them up on Facebook Marketplace, and got $40.
Wow.
Like super easy. Now it took more than a day to sell. I will admit that, but
Okay.
it was, it was easy. Somebody came over with their truck, loaded them in, and took 5 minutes and made $40. So easy money there. And then let me throw out one of my favorites is collectibles too. And I know you've collected, or your husband has collected maybe comic books in the past, right? But growing up, I collected baseball cards. So baseball and basketball cards. Last spring, I went through my collection, found some, Michael Jordan or some, popular baseball players from that era, got on eBay, looked at what certain cards were selling for, and just ran an eBay auction and made a couple $100 fairly quickly. Just selling these old baseball cards that are not doing anything for me anymore.
Yeah, collectibles can range from baseball cards to figures, or it could be coins or jewelry or things like that. And there are resale shops right in town where you can take your things in to get an evaluation to see what it's worth. That's definitely a way to get some cash flow going. But let's say you don't have any assets and you just your car doesn't work that great. or it's like mine, it's a million years old, no one would want to ride in it. Another way that you could start getting some cash flow is doing things like, I'll be honest, taking a Gazette paper route is an option that you could do. You could finish that route early in the morning. The rest of your day is free. You're a contractor, so you're technically not an employee, but you get the cash flow going, and that can, if you've got conflicts like childcare issues, or you have a set schedule that you need to maintain during the day, a Gazette route might be an option that you'd be interested in. We have many routes available in the metro area, as well as our rural routes are always looking for people to help us deliver the paper.
Definitely. And I'm on a website right now that I've read a little bit on this topic called millennialmoney.com. And on here, I'm just on an article about making money fast. A couple others that kind of caught my eye: rent out a spare room in your house if you have it. You can do that on Airbnb, right? So there's the technology thing coming back into play where people will get on and rent one room out in your house for a couple nights. So those are options, or you could just rent out a room to a monthly renter too. So teacher tutor is also on here. Do you know of any like tutoring resources online where people can go and
yeah, I mean, well, I don't know about tutoring resources, but there's things like Fiverr where you can go on fiverr.com, and if you have like a skill that you want to, like a freelance type skill, let's say you're a graphic designer, or you can record voiceovers, or you can do like some of these kind of technical skills. If you're an artist, sometimes people will, like on Redbubble, you can create creations for people and they will pay you if you have some examples of your work. That's an option as well. What was the one you were asking about?
Tutoring?
Tutoring, yeah. There are resources in town that like Mathnasium, they're looking for math tutors and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that. But I'm not aware of like what websites tutors could tutor at. I'm sure there are plenty of them.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, if you have a specific skill, right, like maybe you're bilingual or something like
Uh-huh.
that, that's there's opportunities out there to
Hmm.
go use that simple skill that maybe you don't even use every day, but is very natural to you to go make some money, some easy
Right.
money on the side. Um, so I know we kind of framed it as like this is how to maybe you lost your job, but kind of like you referred to earlier, this could just be, hey, you want to pay off your credit card debt a little faster,
Right.
pay your car off faster, and you got maybe you do have a 9 to 5 job, but you got a couple hours at night free. Like,
Hmm.
what are you gonna do with that time?
Yeah,
So
maybe you could teach music lessons or something
yeah,
like that. So I think the moral of the story here is like get scrappy, right? Like you have probably have some resources that you're not aware of that you could help yourself get some cash flow going. And once that cash flow starts to go, then your opportunities just kind of open up because like you don't have the weight of whatever that issue is money wise that is getting in your way. So we'll go ahead and put some of these resources in the show notes for ways to make money on the side, hustling. But if you have any ideas, be sure to let us know in your comments of maybe some
yeah,
resource that you use that you would recommend to other people looking to just get some cash flow going.
yeah. I love it, Liz. All right. Thanks for the ideas, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right.